All right, so here's the demonstration of how you're going to set up this sedimentation lab. You've got your supplies, you gathered some soil, you have a jar with a lid, you've got a little bit of dish soap, you've got access to water. Remember, this is where I said you probably want to do this outside. For the sake of demonstration, I am actually doing it in the house near my kitchen sink. So as we look at the steps that have been provided, the first thing it says is remove the grass or plants that might be growing in the soil. Okay, I happen to have some roots. I'm just going to pull them out. I also have a big clod of dirt or soil as you've come to know it. I'm not going to include that in my jar. I am working over newspaper. So what I'm going to do, where it says fill the bottle or jar about halfway, I'm just going to dump that soil that I have collected into the jar. Again, if I see a big rock, I might decide to pull it out. I look, I realize I'm not at about the halfway point. I did have another big clod of soil. I don't want that to be in there. So I continue. Again, that big piece that just fell in, if you've got big pieces, it's going to make your lab a little challenging. I would encourage you to either break them up or not include them. So I continue to pour that soil I've found in. I'm going to take that stick out that I also have in here. And then when I'm about halfway, the next step in my directions say to add a squirt of dish soap on top of the soil. So I've got my dish soap. I put just a little bit of a squirt in there. That's actually going to help separate the particles up to some extent. It then says fill the bottle with water. I add water to my bottle. It's going to maybe bubble up a little bit with the dish soap. As you look at this example, I've still got some space here, so I'm going to add some more water. Okay, so I've now completed that step where I've filled the remainder of the bottle or jar with water, and I am going to screw the lid securely on. The next step then says to shake the bottle for at least a minute. I encourage you to actually tip that bottle, again, making sure your lid is securely upside down on it. Tip it upside down a little bit. Make sure that you don't have any loose soil clinging to the bottom. As I continue to shake this, I am going to share with you the fact that if you are someone who did not have a jar, that you had a water bottle, you are going to be able to complete this activity as well. It's just going to be a little bit more challenging to get that soil into the bottle. So that's just something to be aware of. Also, notice that my jar that I'm using, I do have a label on one side. However, I have removed my label so that I have a clearly visible side. That's going to become important for the observations we're doing. And then the last step we notice is set bottle where it will be undisturbed, yet is accessible to view without shaking or moving until our final action step is taken next week. I encourage you, if you have family members, younger siblings, you might want to put a do not disturb note on this. And when you're done, make sure that you clean up your mess. I did this on my kitchen counter, so I've got a lot of cleaning to do right now.